Hello, welcome to my live. Today is Friday, the 8th of May, and it's 6 p.m. UK time. For those who don't know me, I'm a therapist and coach, and I come here in my free time to talk about anything you'd like me to talk about, as long as it's related to mental health, therapy, human psychology, mindfulness, emotional intelligence, mindset, and anything that we can use to enhance and elevate any aspect of our life from those places. And so the way I start my live streams is always by reading and commenting on some of my posts. If you see me now, that's probably either because you have subscribed to my channel or because the algorithm knows that the things that I talk about are the sort of things that you may have interest in. And so I'm going to just go through some of my posts, and hopefully at some point some of you will ask me some questions and we can get started with interacting together. Okay, let's go. The first post goes like this: true healing is quiet. It is enjoying a walk in the park. It is smelling the roses and daydreaming, looking at the clouds in the sky. It is sleeping and resting for as long as needed. It is allowing yourself to simply be without having to justify your existence. And so this post is about essentially realizing that less is more. When it comes to healing, but also just going through our lives, we are so obsessed with goals, with outcomes, with targets, that we are putting too much pressure on ourselves. And it's actually holding us back from getting what we want, including healing. And so whatever that we do, we want to really do our best to appreciate what we're doing and listen to our body and do whatever we can do. And as long as we're doing our best every day, it's always good enough. We can't do more than our best. Um, Also, if you can hear me well, please let me know. I have had some problems with my mic, and so I'm using the mic of the phone, and I hope that it's good enough. If not, I'm going to be honest with you, I wouldn't know what else to do anyway. But just if you can reassure me and let me know if you can hear me well. So we have Color Queen said hi. Hello. Jack Cather Mac. Hello, hello, hello as well. Raichu, yes, clear enough. Fantastic. Thank you. Color Queen, it sounds good. Thank you, guys. Jack Cathermog, volume is good. Fantastic. Okay. In that case, I'm going to continue reading and commenting on my post until some of you muster the courage or get the inspiration to ask me something about yourself. And I will do my best to give you some actionable recommendations. Next post goes like this: the opposite of toxic masculinity is not healthy masculinity or positive masculinity. It is just being a decent human being. Men don't have to be masculine to be a man. They can if they want, of course. There's nothing wrong about this, but they don't have to. No one has to be masculine, and no one has to be feminine either. Just be whatever comes naturally to you. Just be happy. Just be kind to others and to yourself, and just be a decent human being. So here I'm essentially explaining how, and I'm sure that many of you may resonate with this. A lot of people get angry and lost and confused because we believe that we must behave in a certain way, and that creates so much pressure. A lot of men believe that they must be men, but no one tells them what a man is really. And the reality is that we're all different. So just be yourself. Learn how to learn how to express yourself. Learn to speak out your truth. Take it one day at a time, and and you should be all right. Gosh, I'm having a very dry throat. This has been ongoing for months. Anyway, Color Queen, it sounds good. Volume is good. Fantastic. Okay, let's carry on. Next post is about meditation. Meditation is not about stopping thinking. It is impossible. Your mind is designed to think. Yeah. Meditation is about observing your thoughts. And once you have become very good at observing your thoughts, next, you may take this to the next level and start to learn how to observe the space between your thoughts. So again, this is an insight on how to get started with meditation and how we may progress as we become better at it. It's a skill. I can talk about it in great length if you wish. But essentially, the message in this post is that when we meditate, we are not trying to create silence, not to stop thinking, because it's just not possible. Our mind is literally a machine that creates, that invites, that channels thoughts. But what we want to do is to just observe them. And by observing them, it means being aware of them without attaching ourselves to it, without reacting to them, without trying to judge them, without trying to analyze them, to make sense of them, uh, just observing them. And if we can do this over time, we can also learn how to observe our feelings, our emotions. We can learn how to observe ourselves interacting with others in the world. Uh, and this is how, again, over time, it's a skill that needs repetition and practice. But over time, we are more able to regulate ourselves and to see the bigger picture instead of just reacting to the world the way we have been reacting up to this point. But yes, the twist is that we first start to observe our thoughts, and then eventually we start to observe the space between the thoughts. Some people may explore and observe what is happening behind or before the thoughts. There are a lot of different ways to do this. But anyway, um, right, true. It is possible to not think for a while. I have seen it is possible to not think. Absolutely. What I'm trying is that it is not possible to force ourselves not to think. That's the difference, right? If I practice meditation, mindfulness, because I've been doing it for a long while, I can get to a place where there's no thought. But it's not something that we can do without practice. It takes a lot of repetition. For the vast majority of us, it's not possible. As in, you can't choose. I don't want to think. I don't want to think something. Right? Uh, you may dissociate, you may daydream, you may be in all sorts of different mental space, mental spheres, and not think for a moment for whatever reasons. But it's not something that you will consciously decide to do and force upon yourself. And the reason we can't do this is because our brain cannot process a negative. And so if you think, I don't want to think, I don't want to think, I need to stop thinking, all that your brain is going to give you is think, 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 because it doesn't know what don't means. And so what we can do is to choose a different thought, or we can focus on a thought. And this is where meditation starts. It's not about creating silence and emptiness in our mind. This is not possible again. We can't create silence. What we can do is to learn how to focus on something, so much so that at some point the focus is tiny, and then there's more silence and peace. And then the next level is again to learn how to focus on the space between the thoughts. Um, but yeah, um, does it make sense, Raichu? I'm not saying that it can't happen. What I'm saying is that we can't force this to happen, as if just as like, we can't force ourselves to be happy. We can't force ourselves to heal. We can't force ourselves to forgive. All of those things are happenings when we're letting go of something. Um, and so, but if you want to share your experience, if you disagree with me, we can have that conversation as well. It's not a problem at all. Jack Kethel Mack. I found that having the goal of just allowing all thoughts to pass by for a period of time, it allows the body to shift from activity to deeper calm. Yes. So this is one of the way we meditate. Uh, we can imagine our thoughts like a bunch of clouds that are just passing. Uh, we can observe them passing, as opposed to trying to analyze the cloud or follow it, try to change it. Some people imagine buses. That's another system. Um, so basically, they visualize a lot of buses, like if you take the bus and you are waiting for your bus, but each bus has a different direction, a different destination, and you're waiting for yours. And so one bus may be about resentment, another bus could be taking you to a place of shame, and so on and so forth. And what we do, we jump into the first bus. And then once we are in the bus, we have to wait for it to do the whole ride before we can get out of it and take another one. And so mindfulness is about learning how to observe all those buses and letting them pass until we see the bus that we want to jump in, which is the bus of peace and happiness and relaxation, calm, something like that. But yes, Jack, it is one of the way we can explore meditation. Jack, the pretense of allowing an autist is a very accessible framing to give it. Okay, Rachel. Yes. Okay. Thank you, Rachel. Thank you. It's like when people say happiness is a choice, and it's true that it's a choice, but many of us we don't have access to that choice just yet. We can't force ourselves to choose to be happy. If we're in a good place, if we've done some work on ourselves, we may be able to do this. But for many of us, it's not possible, or at least it's not possible just yet. And so I'm going to continue reading my post unless and until you have some questions. As soon as I have a question, I will interact with you straight away, but just to keep going with the flow. Um, the next post goes like this. People who know about their mental health issues and are happy to talk about them openly are a green flag. People who avoid talking about mental health in general or believe that it's all a load of woke nonsense are an absolute red flag. So if you meet new people and they don't want to talk about mental health, and especially if you have your own baggage, it's very important to be transparent and open and to destigmatize the sort of conversation. And thanks to TikTok, Instagram, thanks to social media, there's more and more awareness, especially with the newest generations, about mental health. So those are really things that we want to learn about, talk about, share. Um, I know that many people of my generation, we never wanted to talk about it. There was a lot of stigma. Even my brother, whenever rarely I speak to him, he's like, "Oh, don't talk about anything depressive." Oh, for him it's a joke because he doesn't have any emotional intelligence, uh, and like many people of my generation, and so that's why. But I think that the more we understand about mental health, the more we understand about psychology, the better we can function, enjoy our existence, and also interact and connect with others. Therefore, the more we can create a better society for us. Um, Harriet Boateng. Hello, Harriet. Raichu, I have a question about bipolar disorder and if it is possible for the individual to heal and turn to one polarity. Okay, I have bipolar as well. I've been diagnosed in my early 20s. Um, and so my answer to you is a resounding yes. You can absolutely heal from bipolar disorder. Obviously, it's a spectrum, so it's different for everyone, and you have to find your own methodology. You have to go through your own healing journey. But I'm good now. I used to really, I had some hypomanic episodes um, alongside, I mean, alternated with some mega depressive episodes that would last a month. I think one of them lasted even more than a year. And I was in a really dark place, being obsessed, having some hallucinations, thinking about unaliving myself all the time, those sort of things. And so, yes, no, I absolutely can confirm that it is possible. Right? Um, whether it's going to happen for you or not, I don't know. We can talk about this, but I have absolutely disarmed the triggers that get me to get me into those states, either manic states or depressive states. Um, uh, it's all about belief. It's about addressing belief as far as the depression is concerned, and for the manic episode, it's about addressing your lifestyle. It's very important. Um, right, true. Yes, I'm 33, and there's a stigma at my age too. Okay, yeah. But I'm creating that space here, like many others, to help people. And so if you have any questions, anything you want to ask, that's what I'm here for. I mean to do my best to, if it's busy enough, to stay up till 8 o'clock UK time. So right now it's 6:15. So I'm here for another potentially 1 hour and 45 minutes. Jack, wonderful to hear. All right, thank you. But I mean, for those who are wondering, if you don't know me, I have other stuff as well. I have many comorbidities. So CPTSD, ADHD, bipolar, and borderline personality disorder. And I used to be a very different person in the past. I've changed gradually by stages, and there's still some work to be done always. But the main problems, triggers in my life, I have disarmed them. And if ever I have some situations where I am dysregulated, I can see that happening, and I can come back to a place of mental clarity relatively quickly. The systems. Rachel, thank you so much. Of course. Rachel, is it possible to heal from the borderline? Yes, as well. It takes some time because it's attached to your sense of self, being a personality disorder, right? But it is possible, absolutely. Especially if you are, the younger you are, the easier it will be compared to someone maybe who are in their 50s, 60s, 70s, or 80s. Whatever we repeat over time, we reinforce. It's like any skills that work, and including our emotional state and our thinking systems, modes. So yes, do you want to talk about your borderline or your bipolar? Let me read another post in the meantime. We make choices every day, just like when we order a meal in a restaurant. But what our ego didn't tell us is that we never had a choice over the actual menu we chose from, because all of our cognitive choices are predetermined by our subconscious emotional programming that was coded into us when we grew up. And so this is a post that is going to be received differently, but some people resist that and really don't like that idea. But essentially, whatever we do is limited and run by our emotional subconscious program. So even the choices that we take, we have the illusion that we're taking choices, but we don't realize that those choices are limited by what we believe about ourselves, by what our subconscious mind and our nervous system believes is safe for us. And so we might think, I have all those choices, but we still have a lot of choices that we would never think about, because our mind believes that this is uncharted territories, it's dangerous, it's not safe. And also, very often we blame ourselves because we have done something that we didn't want to happen, or maybe we didn't do something that we wanted to do, and now we're beating ourselves up. We're thinking, why did I do that, or why didn't I do that? And again, what we don't realize is that we didn't have a choice. We did whatever emotional mind allowed us to do. Some people may want to do something, but they don't do it, and then they're telling themselves, "What's wrong with me? Why am I so weak? Why am I so lazy? Why am I so stupid?" But in reality, it's not that. It's that our mind is preventing us to do certain things because it doesn't believe that it's safe for us. And so in that moment, there was never any choice. After that, with hindsight, we like to believe that we have some agency, but we don't. Not in those moments. When we are operating through our subconscious mind, which is basically the automatic pilot that runs our day-to-day routine, we are literally repeating everything that the program tells us to repeat. We always think the same thoughts, we feel the same feelings, we have the same reactions from the same people at the same time in the same place every single day. 95% of our thoughts are the same as yesterday. However, when we are not in the momentum of the rat race of our daily routine, we can work on ourselves and upgrade that program, but not when we are in the eye of the storm. Right, true, because it's a matter of character, it is a matter of psychology and not psychiatric. What do you mean by this? How do you define the difference between psychology and psychiatric? And when it comes to character and personality, There's nothing about your character and your personality that you cannot change. Literally everything about yourself you can change. Not everything at once, but you can change everything one thing at a time over a long period of time if it's important to you. Because our brains are plastic. So what it means is that our brains are designed to constantly adjust, evolve, expand based on whatever that we do, whatever that we allow, whatever that we repeat is going to reinforce those neural pathways. And so if we repeat the same thing, we're going to be better at those same things. But if you want to change any aspect of our personality, it's possible. It is absolutely possible. The reason we have a personality and all aspects of them of the personality is because whatever we've been through, we have adjusted to those situations, and the result of that is what we call our personality. And so if someone is, let's say, introvert or shy, that'd be because of some of the things they went through. If someone is very, very loud and chaotic, it's just going to be the same, and so on and so forth. Every patterns of behavior or adjustment from some things we went through in childhood based on our genetics or bringing our environment. Um, but because our brain is always adjusting to whatever we're doing, if you understand that, we can gradually, over time, baby step after baby step, replace an old habit of thought or habit of emotion with a new, better one. So if you believe, whatever belief that you have that is holding you back, we can absolutely change that belief in different ways. Um, right, true. Thank you, Jack. CPTSD myself, 8 years of abusive relationship with borderline partner. Trying to heal has taught me so much. There's still a lot to do, but learning that I can recondition my perspective is powerful. Yes, absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. Again, whatever you want to talk about, I'm happy to go those directions with you if you feel like it. Right? Right. True. The borderline, I think I'm not sure. It is possible. I've helped a lot of people with borderline personality disorder. I know that it's not easy, and I know that a lot of my fellow colleagues, therapists, they really don't want to to come near any one of us because we can be difficult. But because I have it myself and because I have addressed it, that gives me an understanding of it that most people don't have. And so, from my perspective, I can absolutely say that it is very possible to address and change. Uh, Again, it takes time, it's a journey, but at least we can address the main problems at first. Then after that, we can learn how to upgrade all the other aspects of our behavior. Because when we address a personality disorder, as you understand, we're not addressing a thing. We're addressing how we function in the world. And so basically how we function in the world will be in regards to every aspect of our life. So that's many things to change, but we don't have to change everything. We want to address what is our priority, what is the most problematic habit, what we react to the most, what creates the most problems in our lives, what beliefs are really, really pervasive and toxic to our quality of life. Um, but it's possible, absolutely. Jack, approaching things with baby steps makes nearly every change achievable. Yes, absolutely. Humility is a beautiful gift. Yes, baby steps is one of the most underrated concepts for anyone to change, to heal, to grow, to learn anything at all. Um, we put too much pressure on ourselves because we are trying too hard. But when we're doing this, we are putting sticks into our own wheels. We want to realize that the harder I want something, the more tension I'm creating for myself, and that is going to create resistance. If we put pressure, we need to resist the pressure. But if you can do just a baby step, trusting that you have time, then there's nothing that you can do. You can walk around the world. uh, the trip around the world is a journey of, I don't know, 10,000 steps or something like that. There's a lot of quotes like that. I think Lao Tzu said something similar. But yeah, there's nothing that we can achieve because the thing is that if we get baby steps, not only not a, and nothing is linear. So when you get started with something, at some point you will get some acceleration in your journey, whatever that it is, and things will start to really look different. But Also with baby steps, we get started. Many of us, we can't even get started because, again, we are standing at the bottom of the mountain looking at the top. But if you could focus just on the baby steps, now it's easy. The reason why our brain resists anything is because it's hard, it's because it's difficult, it's because it's complicated. But if you could make anything simple, easy, and fun, now there's nothing we can't do over time um, with baby steps. Thank you for your heart. Right, true. I can relate with that. Please explain what Jack said. What do you mean? I think I just did the baby steps thing, right? Finite abyss. Oh, hello. I have a lot of social anxiety because of CPTSD. Is this common? Yes, 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 yes. Um, it's not directly because of what happened to you, but when we are overwhelmed, then that is going to affect um, the way your brain functions. And because of that, now we're going to have some level of paranoia. We're going to be always hypervigilant. We're going to be also having a lot of low self-esteem. If we have CPTSD, that will have dented how we perceive ourselves. And so now there's a voice in our head always trying to protect us, reminding us, be careful, they're watching you, don't say anything silly, you look, you don't look good, or any of those things. And that is going to create a lot of social anxiety. Um, I used to have tons of social anxiety for such a long time. I didn't even realize, even when I had mega shift. Again, there's still a lot of things we need to change if we spent our whole life functioning in a certain way. But even, I don't know, up till a few years ago, I didn't realize that I had social anxiety, because when you have CPTSD, everything is your normality. We don't have a frame of reference. So the way we feel, the way we think that it's just the way it goes until we realize it's not normal. We shouldn't be normal. It doesn't have to be like that. Um, I can give an example. I was thinking about it the other day. I would go to some convention or some places or seminars or places like that. Uh, and then at the end, I would try to say goodbye to people. But there were people that I wanted to shake hands and say goodbye, those who ran the seminar. But there are always a lot of people around them. But I didn't dare. I didn't know. I was so scared of being rejected. And I would I don't know, hover around for like, I don't know, half an hour, 45 minutes. When I just had to say, okay, guys, thank you for everything. Bye bye. But just couldn't, because I thought that it was not the right time. I was worried that they'll be ignoring me, talking to other people. And it took me an awful lot of time to even realize that this was happening for me. Um, and so there you go. Um, and also, when you go to seminars, you're sat down and people are going to introduce themselves one at a time. And I remember every single time when he was coming close to me, I would keep on rehearsing the things that I would say, the body posture, the facial expression, and I would get my heart will start to panic as it's getting closer to me. And by the time it gets to me, I would go because I would be overwhelmed. And then you could tell I was super nervous in my voice. I wouldn't be able to remember anything that I intended to say. And again, those things were my normality up till uh, even, I don't know. I'm going to say even up till 6 years ago, maybe even 5 years ago. So it's really recent. But again, I'm neurodivergent, and so uh, it's only through the pandemic that I realized that I also had ADHD. That I never understood how people function in a neurotypical world. Um, and so from 2020, that's when I really, so no, it's not with 26, so 6 years ago. I think that's when I started to realize that I had all those things, and I then addressed them, and now I'm fine. But it took me all the time because I didn't know. I thought I had bipolar and that was it. But then I realized I also have all the other stuff. as I explored my own journey as a therapist, I had to learn about those things, I had to address those things, and then I realized, gosh, I get this too. So anyway, the cur. Were you ever trapped in victimhood in any sense? How did you get out? Yes, I was a victim for all my life, up to the age of 39. I believed that I was unlucky, I was cursed, bad things always happen to me. I don't deserve love, I don't deserve happiness. People are horrible to me. The only way I can approach them was to be high or drunk. Um, I used to be addicted to class A drugs and alcohol and a lot of things up to the age of 39, very seriously. It was the only way I could connect with people. And I was always, always, always full of anger, rage, and shame. I used to hate myself. I used to hate people. I used to hate the world, life, everything. And so, yes, I was 100,000% a victim. Um, how did I change? Uh, there are many things. So I talked about it once. I won't talk about it on every single one of my live streams, but I had some lucky breaks. The universe gave me some opportunities to address some aspect of my past, and there has been some moment, some breakthrough, some aha moments, some epiphanies that really changed everything. um, I'm just checking my windows because there's a lot of pigeons on my window sills, and I've opened the windows and I want to make sure that they're not going to get inside. Otherwise, you may see pigeons on my live streams. It happened once, and I want to make sure that it doesn't happen again. And so, yes, I was absolutely a pure, total victim. Um, but again, we don't choose to be a victim. We are a victim because we suffer from trauma and head wounds, from we have baggage. Uh, we suffer because of the way we see ourselves. And so, although it's true that there is such thing as victim mindset, no one chooses it. We inherit it. Our mindset is limited by our heart set. So the way you feel about yourself, your emotional state, will dictate the sort of mindset that you can have. That's why when some people learn a little bit about growth mindset and they start to criticize everyone, don't be such a victim, but they really don't understand uh, human psychology. Um, this is mean. This is very, very toxic. You want to realize that if people have a victim mindset, it's because they hurt. It's because they still have a lot of wounds and baggage. And so we can't teach them, but not all of them will be able to make sense of it right away. They may have to go through therapy first. That's what I'm trying to say. Um, Elizabeth, how to reprogram the obsessiveness of a learned, cultivated codependency that replaces the brain's ability to find rewards outside of the person, brainwashing the intermittent rewards. Okay, there's a lot of words here, but I think I understand what you mean. How can you break? Do you suffer from limerence? Is that what you mean? Um, how to program the obsessiveness of a learned cultivated codependency. So basically, if we address just that, how do we do this? By changing how you see yourself. That's it. The reason why you have an obsession of being codependent with someone is because you believe that this is who you are and this is the sort of person that you must be with. So you don't change anything else but how you see yourself. And you do this through therapy. You do this through self-reflection, inner work. You do this through meditation, mindfulness. You do it through holistic journey. You do it through spiritual awakening journey. Everyone is different. It depends. But there are a lot of things you can do. But essentially, you want to change the way you see yourself, the way you feel about yourself. Um, let me complete again your question. How to reprogram the obsessiveness of a learned, cultivated codependency that replaces the brain's ability to find reward outside of the person brainwashing with intermittent rewards. So basically, you're suffering from limerence, right? That was it? Or do you attract narcissists or something along those lines? But what I said goes with all of the situations. Uh, if we suffer from people, it's never because of the people. It's because we allow those people into our lives. And if we are obsessed with them, that'd be because we have a fear of abandonment, perhaps. Um, it could be related to trauma. It could be related to borderline personality disorder. Um, so how to reprogram by realizing that you have some limiting belief about yourself. Find out what are your core belief that are creating all of those problems, and then upgrade them. Right? So there are many ways to do this. The tool that I use with my clients is called RTT, and it's a blend of hypnosis, regression, and belief reframing at a subconscious level. So this is exactly what we do with that tool. We go into your subconscious mind, we find out what is the limiting belief, and then we upgrade it from there. But if you don't have access to that sort of protocol, or if you don't like the idea of it, there are tons of other systems. It's for you to find out what it is. I hope it helps. Does it, Elizabeth? Right, true. Yes. Carol me. Oh, hello, Carol me. Said hi. Hello. Right, true. I have RN depression because of my recent birth of a baby girl and getting tired very easy. Okay. Is it postnatal depression? What you mean? Is it PM as opposed to RN? Okay, so if you have postnatal depression, um, give me 1 second. I'm googling it. I want to see what the internet says. I'm going to be honest with you. I haven't addressed any of this case. I mean, this specifically, but I understand a lot about depression. So by reading this, maybe I'll be able to connect the dots and give you something. Dealing with postnatal depression involves seeking professional help early, such as speaking to a GP, health visitor. I mean, okay. Um, so talking therapies, medication, support group, special case. Okay, so basically, like any type of depression, right? Something has happened within you. Um, we are many things. So with a postnatal depression, I believe that your hormones, your body will be changed temporarily because of what it had to do to have a baby. Um, but so that's one element. But there's also the fact that when we go through certain situations, if we have a negative association with type of situations, that will trigger a lot of things in our mind and in our body. And so what it means is that not everyone has postnatal depression. Why did you? Why do you? Um, and that may be because you believe you have some negative or limiting belief about being pregnant or having a baby. Any event that are new, different, that are important can trigger some stuff in us if we have some negative associations with that type of situation. I hope it makes sense. Uh, the example that I can give you is that I had a handful of clients who had huge depression. Um, yes, you know what? I didn't realize they had postnatal depression. They had depression after they had a baby, but they also had a lot of anxiety, uh, a lot of anger. Some had some very negative thoughts about the baby itself. Uh, but I can remember many cases who had anxiety and depression, and basically they were saying all their life everything was fine. They had some systems, but now suddenly because of the baby, out of nowhere, they don't have any control of how we feel anymore. And so again, what we do with the RTT system, we go into the memories of the past and we find out why does your body react in such ways that you are going through postnatal depression now. And with many cases, we found out that it was because they believed that being a good parent was not available to them. Or maybe having a happy family, a healthy family was not available to them, or any of those things. Um, and so they never had to deal with that situation because they didn't have a baby yet. But now suddenly they had a baby. So now they're in that position to be reminded that you will never be a good parent, or your kids will never be happy, or maybe it reminds them of some stuff that happened in the past as well. So now the depression is going to come out because it was waiting for that situation to happen, and now that it's there, it's becoming your experience. Um, does it help, Rachel? So you can address this. It's possible to change this. But again, it's going to be different for every single individual. So yeah. If I get to know you better over time, we can address some things within the capacity of those live streams. If you can have direct professional help with people like me or other systems, that could be that would be my best recommendations. I had a mother not so long ago who had some very nasty, intrusive thoughts about her baby. So yeah, all sort of things. It's always connected to, again, some belief that we have about ourselves in regards to certain situations. Jack, much love, Rachel. Be patient with yourself. Change will come. Thank you for the support, Jack. Rachel, I believe we are the ones who victimizes ourselves in most cases. Yes and no. We victimize ourselves because we have been victimized in childhood. So basically, whichever way our caregivers treated us, whatever happened to us in childhood, has created a sense of self, and that sense of self comes with a narrative. And so, if our caregivers always belittled us, put us down, were horrible to us, now that voice is stuck in our head. It's like a recording. It's an echo of the voices from the people from our past. And so now you can think, oh, I'm rubbish. I'm not good enough. I don't deserve happiness or any of those things. Um, and in reality, you are not thinking that. It is a recording from the past, but it's still reverberating in the back of your mind. But because you don't understand your mind like the vast majority of us, you believe that it's you thinking this. Uh, and again, it's something that you can absolutely upgrade. Um, so that's why I say yes and no. We tell ourselves, I'm rubbish. But it's not because we are choosing it, it's because we have been programmed to think like that. Right, true, exactly. Okay. Finite abyss. I have to take anxiety medications so I don't start shaking at meetings with new people. It really helps a lot, and I can actually enjoy myself because of it, but it sucks to depend on pills. Yes. So this is why I always tell people, if you have a lot of problems like that, it's important to address the root cause of it. Are you neurodivergent? Have you addressed the root cause of your trauma, of your anxiety? Uh, if you have, if you addressed the root cause of your problems, you may not need the medications anymore. And if you are neurodivergent, I would say to you, choose different work environments. Choose people who get you. Choose to work in places where you can be yourself without masking. If you are neurodivergent, you are killing yourself. You will end up with some problems, health problems. I don't. Uh, People don't realize how so many of us are neurodivergent, undiagnosed, and we are trying so hard to fit in, to be normal, to function like neurotypical people want us to, and we're not designed for that. And so if we take pills, that may help us, but think about this. It's not solving your problems. It's helping you function in an environment where you were never meant to function. The better solution will be, over time, if you're neurodivergent again, to choose a lifestyle, choose an environment, choose your tribe, choose a bunch of people who get you and with whom you can be yourself without suffering from social anxiety because you feel out of place and having to take pills for that. Peanut Abyss, are there any exercises I can do instead of taking pills? So again, it is possible, but we are essentially using a band-aid instead of trying to heal the wound. Uh, the analogy that I always use is like, imagine that you have a pipe leaking, and instead of fixing the pipe, you're asking me, what is the best mop to dry the floor? And so we really want to go to the root cause of the problems. Now, if you want to have some superficial hacks that can help you in the moment, there are tons of them. I would say explore a journey of mindfulness and meditation. There are tons of stuff that you can learn from the practice of mindfulness that can help you with those instances. But again, that'd be like addressing the smoke instead of the fire. Raichu, thank you so much for your help. Very effective. Oh, fantastic. Thank you, Raichu. Raichu, yes. Raichu, indeed, yes. Just now realized that I'm better because I was anxious about how I will raise her properly. Okay, okay. So if you think that is maybe because you didn't have necessarily a very happy childhood, and so if you didn't have the love, the support, the safety, the warmth that you needed as a child, then you may end up believing that you can't have this when you have a kid. And that will create all of those doubts. But what you can do is to remind yourself, I am not them. I am a grown up as well. I'm no longer a child. So I have powers that I didn't have then. Um, Genji, hello Didi, how are you today? I'm very well indeed. Thank you so much. I'm very well. I had a great day, very productive. I had a client and we had a great success. I'm very, very proud of myself, very happy. Again, I'm doing very well at the moment. I had a haircut as well, and I went to the gym just before, and so I haven't been to the gym in 10 days because I had some problems with my body. But now I've been, and I'm feeling amazing. How about you, Genji? Right, sure. Yes, I need you for sure. Please, if you can give me an email after. Find me. If you go on my um, if you go on my profile, there should be a link to my website. So click there, have a look at the website, and at the end of it, you can send me an email through the website so that we can organize a discovery call. Okay. Uh, just look on the YouTube page. It's got to be somewhere. Lifestyle chat. Hello, Didi. 9 postnatal depression. It sounds like you are talking about unmet expectations. Yes, how to deal with this. It's not about unmet expectations. It's about how you see yourself. It's about some deep belief about ourselves that say it's too much for me. I'm going to ruin everything just like my parents ruined it for me. Or maybe, yeah, bad things are going to happen. Or maybe it's reminding you of some situations that you've been through yourself in your childhood. And so, yeah, it's not unmet expectations in the sense that it's not cognitive. You don't think it. It's something that is to do with belief. So it's emotional, it's subconscious. It's something that is happening inside of you, but you have no conscious and cognitive awareness of necessarily until you work on yourself, and that then reveals itself through the work. Um, so let me try to understand your comment. Lifestyle chat. Postnatal depression sounds like you are talking about me and met expectations. There are two different things. What did you mean by unmet expectations in regards to postnatal depression? If you can clarify this for me, please. I don't understand yet. Right, true. Thank you so much for what you're offering. You know what? I'm going to have a look at my throat is very, very dry. Can you hear it? It's rattling. Hopefully that will lubricate it a little bit. Right, true. I'm using crystal meth, but drugs are not the case of my problem. I can easily, especially from now on, to detach. So you have to stop it. I used to be addicted to drugs and alcohol as well. As long as you're addicted, you won't be able to access your mind. You'll be always overwhelmed in the cloud, overreactive. You won't have access to the whole of your brain. So you have to address first this. If you can go clean for the duration of your work, this is a must. Especially crystal meth is quite a hardcore drug. Finite abyss. Yes, I have Asperger's. Okay. I have not done mindfulness for a while. I'll start again. Okay. If you have Asperger's, it's normal that you have social anxiety because no one has ever taught you how to understand societal behavior. Nothing makes sense to you. And also, perhaps you may have some trauma that occurred in childhood that has gotten you to dread social interactions on the top of not understanding anything about it. And so, if you have Asperger's, you really want to be in a place where people know that you have it, And so they don't expect you to behave in any other way that you behave like. You want to learn how to stop unmasking. If you need to steam, if you need to have a break because you're overstimulated, you need to really, really make this happen. Otherwise, your nervous system is going to be knackered every day. And over a long period of time, it will affect your immune system, it will affect your whole body at a physical level. Clanker, hey, how are you? I'm very well. How about you? Genshi, brings me much joy hearing that you are having an amazing day. Fantastic, thank you so much. How about you? You want to tell me about what happened lately? Have we got good news or not so good news? Genshi, I feel the same way I felt on Wednesday. Did a small workout, but I had to deal with some things in the middle of it that kind of put me in a mood. Do you want to talk about it? Right, true, indeed. Finite Abyss, the root of my problems is early childhood neglect and abuse. I'm sorry to hear. Um, CPTSD and autism are very, very harsh because yeah, it amplifies everything. And I know this because my husband has autism and CPTSD. And later in life, I chose the wrong partners. So I never felt safe with people. Okay. So if you choose the wrong partner, it's a trauma response. You choose the people that your nervous system feel are familiar. So if you had people who were unkind to you in childhood, you will believe at a subconscious level that this is what you deserve. These are the sort of people that you should be with. Because when you're with them, even though it's not nice, it is a familiar feeling. So you can change this. It's possible. And yeah, many of us will have a mountain of problems. And so the work starts with trying to locate and address our priority. What is the entry point to that mountain of problem? And then, one baby step at a time, we can start to unravel that bag of nuts and eventually find some clarity and peace. Lifestyle chat. What does he have PTSD from? I mean, what was the cause of his PTSD? What are we talking about? Lifestyle chat. Let me go back. Are you talking about my husband? Um, I don't really want to talk about it. This is his thing. Um, I can tell you about some people who have those conditions if it's useful to you, but I don't believe that. No, I mean, I never talk about my clients' problems. I mean, I can talk about some things, but without anyone knowing who they are. But because we're talking about a husband, it's not fair of me. It's not professional. It's not kind of me to diverge what he has been through. So I won't be sharing what he's been through. But if you want to ask me some questions related to autism and PTSD, I've dealt with many of them, so I can talk about it, but without you knowing who it's about. Jack, rooting for you, Raichu. I've been an addict. Be patient with yourself. Yeah. Thank you, Jack. Genshi, I'm not sure how to explain it honestly. I have that little cloud over my head. So I went outside, I felt better, sat down, and my mind was all over the place. So I worked out, but then that got interrupted. Okay, dot. Tell me more. What interrupted it? What happened? And did you do any things that we talked about? Right, sure. I can't describe you how many different aspects of my mental health you covered and made them clear to me. Oh, fantastic. Thank you. How to navigate them better. Really, I'm very grateful. Thank you so much. It's my pleasure. I come here every Wednesdays and every Fridays from 6 p.m. UK time every week. So if you need my help, whether we work together professional or not, is one thing. But I'm always here, and so I'm happy to. Some people come week after week, month after month, And I'm more than happy to do my best within this capacity to give you some understanding of what you're going through and hopefully some things that may help you. Finite Abyss. Yes, I chose people with bipolar and borderline because it was familiar to me. Yes, I understand. That's why my husband is with me. Um, again, because I've got all of these conditions, but were reminiscent of his own childhood. Um, Genji. So I feel a bit overwhelmed, like I can't feel better, and I think that's frustrating me more. So we talked about it many times. So what do you do in that case? You feel overwhelmed, you feel that you can't be better, and you're frustrated about it. Frustrated about it. So what do you do? How do you deal with that? Um, the problem is the thought. The thought that I'm rubbish. It's not going to get better. I can't do anything about it. What do you do? A lifestyle chat, thumbs up, fantastic. Right through. How to approach my mother in order to have a sincere conversation about what happened in the past, but I'm not aware and brought us here. It may happen, it may not happen. It depends because I don't know your mom, and I'm sure that if you have some situations to talk about with her, it means that you have some history together. And it means, therefore, that she has baggage as well. So let me try again. How to approach my mother in order to have a sincere conversation about what happened in the past, but I'm not aware and brought us here. I'd say just try to talk to her, but then realize that if she's defensive, if she's avoiding, if she's not taking responsibility for certain things, then you may never be able to have that conversation. Um, you may never find peace from her. It may happen, it may not. Um, all you can do is to sit down with her and be honest and say to her, you know what, this is important to me, let's have a chat. But if there's resistance, then accept that she's not ready for the conversation and she may never be. Do you want to tell us about what it is? Right, you in order to start somewhere, from somewhere. So what do you mean by that? Are you trying to reconcile with your mom? Genji, I'm aware I'm supposed to change the thoughts. Couldn't do that. I walked around out. I just feel like I didn't have the time to deal with my emotions. I'm trying to breathing right now. I don't understand how it feels like I'm spitting on myself because of my own frustration from not being able to fix my feelings. It's because you want it right here, right now. Remember, there are three things that you can do when you're going through situations: do, accept, or suffer. You can take an action, do something about it, or you can accept that there's nothing I can do about it for this moment, in this moment, and so I'm going to focus on doing something, think about something else. Or I can suffer by thinking about it without doing anything about it. So you've chosen to suffer because you're thinking about it, but you're doing anything, you're not doing anything about it. If you try to walk and it doesn't work, what do you do? Keep working, keep trying, do other things. Just keep doing, just keep going until it works. But if it really can't happen, if you've been doing it for an hour, then accept, you know what, I'm going to feel like shit. That's the way it is. It's okay because I'm working, I've done my best. Now I'm going to just soak into the negativity and just remind myself, okay, the next moment, maybe if I feel better, I can try again. It's about you changing the way you think, changing your habits of thoughts, your habits of emotions. It takes time. So again, if you really wanted to fix yourself quickly, there are methods that can help you do it much, much quicker, right? But if you are not interested in that, or if you don't have access to that, accept that you have chosen the long haul. It's going to take some time, and it is possible. But this is the choice that you are taking each moment. If things are really, really pressing, then you choose different systems and different tools. But if you don't choose to go that way, accept that you have to undo and learn new habits to replace the habits of a lifetime. It does take time. What makes such a difference? Do you understand, Genji? Tell me more about this. The problem is that you want something but you can't have yet. Very often we're frustrated because we just want something, but sometimes we need to accept that we can't have everything right here, right now. Just that belief make a difference. I can't have everything right now. I can have some of the things that I want over a long period of time as I work on it. But the frustration comes from I want to be here 100%. Oh, why is it not here yet? Why because you're putting so much tension and pressure on yourself to heal that is sabotaging all of your work and bringing you back to that place. This is why I always say, be kind to yourself. Remember, everything that you're going through is your program. You never chose it. So it does take time. Yeah. Did you remind yourself that you are doing your best and that it takes time? By accepting, this is how we release the pressure. It's paradoxical, but it's really the hardest thing to do. If you can learn to accept now the shame, the anxiety, all of those things, you're going to be able to let them go. But you have to accept them first. Sometimes we must accept the helplessness, the despair. It happens to the best of us. Whatever we experience emotionally, it's really about learning how to feel all of those feelings and acknowledge them and embrace them and then letting it go. Rachel, about the fact that I'm exposed globally and in subsestation. I don't understand subsestation. Without nobody confirm that to me, they're always taking me at hospital when I'm aware. Let me try to guess what it is. About the fact that I'm exposed globally. What does that mean? You're exposed globally. And in substitution, this I don't understand either. Without nobody confirming to me that they're always taking me at hospital. I don't understand. I'm sorry, Rachel. I really want to help you, but could you rephrase this in a way that I can understand, please? Genji, I think I've just automatically accepted suffering when I give up. I don't know why I give up so fast and become so frustrated. Because it takes time. Again, your mind is trying to protect you. So it's holding you back to your habit, right? You're giving up fast because you have the belief that you can't make it happen. So your mind is protecting you by telling you, give up. It's pointless. You will never make this happen. My watch is telling me to post my third TikTok post of the day. I need to do this straight away. So just bear with me, please. There are 3 types of body.
What would I do if I actually had Hitler in my head?
Just bear with me. There are 3 types. Okay, it's out. Okay, let's back to our conversation. I think I've just accepted suffering. You have not accepted suffering. You have accepted the fact that you will never change. That's what you have accepted. Accepting the suffering is different. If you feel the suffering and you embrace the shame, you embrace the disempowerment, it's a different thing altogether. What you have accepted is that you cannot change. This is what you have accepted. This is what you want to change. Finite Abyss, thank you for your insight, Didi. Thank you. Genji, and am I picked the easy route by just giving up? No, it's not easy. Again, you don't choose. Your subconscious mind is running the show for you. And so that's why you can't. Again, it's your program. Dawn, hello Didi, hello Dawn, Raichu. Thank you so much, of course. Raichu, superstition. Superstition. Superstition, I get this. So let me read again with the, but even though, could you rephrase the whole thing? Because even the rest I couldn't understand. Genji, yes, exactly. I just feel like I suck, but I can't even help myself when I have the tools. Because maybe you need other tools. With those tools, you can make it happen again, but it's the long run. Yeah, just keep going. You know that you've come a long way already. So focus on the progress and tell yourself, you know what? It's like the analogy that I used Wednesday. I think, no, I didn't use it Wednesday. I used it with a client. I'm mixing up. But when you learned how to walk as a baby, it didn't happen overnight. You learn how to balance yourself out on your legs, and then you fell on your face. And when you did it again and again, you started to do like that, and you ended up on your face again. But eventually, after a long period of time, you were able to become better at walking. And now you don't even think about it, it's automatic. And the reason why you have acquired that skill that took so much time, so much effort, so much focus is because you focused on wanting to do it and you persevered. That's it. If you gave up the first time you fell on your face, you would have never learned. And so at the moment, you're still thinking about, you're focusing on your falls as opposed to focusing on getting back up. So that's the difference. So use that analogy and think, you know what? I'm falling on my face. I'm going to focus on getting back up. It may take a year, 2 years, but I will keep going back up until it happens. Because if I keep on thinking about falling, then I will never get anywhere. It's never going to happen. Genshi, I can tell myself I'm doing well, but it's still so hard to just believe the words because you don't feel it yet. If you think something, but if it's not aligned with how you feel, you can feel worse. Affirmations are only good if you are using affirmations that your subconscious mind believes. If you suffer from depression and you tell yourself, I'm happy, I'm amazing, it's not going to work. You're going to get angry, if anything. Your body will react to it. It's not nonsense. What the hell are you talking about? Um, and so it's about learning how to find affirmations that are close enough to how you feel, but just crank it up a little notch. So instead of telling yourself, I'm good, I'm doing well, tell yourself, I'm doing my best. And this is true. I'm doing my best, baby steps, and my best is good enough. Genji, also, so sorry, autocorrect was never my friend. It's all right. Genji, you were correct, by the way, with the walking analogy. That was with me on Wednesday. Okay, so there you go. So remember this. Dawn, I feel very lonely and I'm trying so hard. Do you want to talk about yourself, Dawn? Right, so grateful. Dawn, depression is a horrible thing to have, indeed. Tell me about your day, about your thoughts, about what is happening in your life, if you want, Dawn. Genji, my best feels like shit. Okay? Accept it. Accept it. Your best is still your best. And keep doing it. Again, if you could have access to some tools that can access your subconscious mind, that would make such a huge difference. Is it something that you would ever consider? If you are struggling, I would really suggest you to explore those avenues. I'm doing my best here to help people, but there's a limit to what I can do within certain topics. in that capacity. Yeah. Right, sure. Better the next time. Okay. I'm not sure what you're referring to. Paula Fletcher. Hi, Didier. My son went out, so I'm just here. Oh, hello, Paula. Okay, thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. If there's anything you'd like to ask me or to talk about, please hit me. Genji, do you mean with hypnotherapy? Yes. Yes. Or other stuff. But seeking some help uh, from people who can access your subconscious mind. Dawn, been victim of abuse a lot in my life and had a lot of toxic people. They are now all gone. I know it's for the best, but very lonely. Okay. Um, so what you want to realize is that if you suffered from toxic abuse, it was not because of them. It was because you allowed them to hurt you. It's not a conscious choice. You don't choose to do this. But at a subconscious level, you invited those people into your life. And that's why you suffered. And so what I'm trying to say is that the way to do this, to change this, is to realize that you need people, but you can deal with them now because you can set boundaries. Um, you can learn how to love yourself and learn how to choose people that you deserve, not the toxic ones. Right, Shu. I said next time because you mentioned to us to tell things that we were being through. Ah, all right, okay. It's up to you. I'm here up till 8 o'clock, so we have a little bit of time. Diana Memal said hi. Hello, Genji. For whatever reason, it feels like a cheat, if that makes sense. Like I'm not doing the work and I'm cheating because someone is fixing my brain for me. Okay. In that case, you have chosen this. Okay. So accept this. Remind yourself, this is my choice. I I have chosen this. So I'm going to keep doing it because I want this to happen this way. And it's okay. It's okay. Just accept it. Don't expect something that you can't have right here, right now. Accept that it's a journey and things will get better, but it's going to take some time. You have to be patient. And yeah, just address the belief that I talked about. Um, oops, where is it? Um, we can't have all the things that we want right here, right now. It's a very simple belief to adjust. But remind yourself, I can change some things in my life, but it's going to be one thing at a time, and it will need some time and effort and intent and focus and repetition. Genji, I'm aware that I can be a lot for my husband, family, and even you. That makes me feel bad in the sense that I'm difficult for others. You're not a lot, you're not difficult at all. I never said that, I never implied that, and I would never imply that. Not at all. You are not a lot, not at all. What I'm saying is that you're choosing this, so accept it. It's not a lot. It's just you being aware of the fact that we can't have everything. It's like I want to have a castle, I want to have a unicorn, I want to have to be a rock star. Maybe we can have some things that are close to what we want in some capacity over a long period of time, but we can't have everything like that just because we want it. That's what I'm saying. And it's the same thing with you wanting to heal without certain tools, right? It's okay. I'm not criticizing this, but having taken the choice, accept that it's going to take time. It's your choice. You said it yourself. You have chosen to go the long haul, and it's not a bad thing. I appreciate this. I understand that some people prefer that, and it's not a problem at all. But accept that it does take time. So that when you are going through the state, then you can tell yourself, oh, it's okay. It takes time. It sucks. My best sucks, but it's my choice. Genji, I do greatly appreciate your help, though, and you have helped me a lot in the time that we have known each other. Thank you, Genji. I appreciate. I'm glad I have. I'm grateful for this. Thank you. Genji, oh, okay. I thought you were telling me I was being difficult. No, your mind translated that for you, right? Because you know how you have this belief about yourself. I would never say that to you. Of course not. How dare you? Guess what I would tell that to you. I would never do that to anyone. I know better. I've been in your shoes, and I understand that we are all doing our best anyway. You're not difficult. If people say that you're difficult, it's just because they are impatient and hasty, and they don't have the tools, and they don't know what to do with you. So they will tell you that. Uh, I know how to address you, and this is how what I've been doing. Just take your time. Remember my motto: be kind to yourself. That's it. Just be kind to yourself. Right, sure. I'm leaving you. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful for what you have just provided me. Fantastic. Make sure that you subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet, so that when I go live next, you're reminded. And if you feel like it, if you have the time, you can always pop in and we can continue our conversation together. Genji, how dare I agree? I should have known you'd never tell me that. Okay, yes. Genji, my mind just skips the conclusion sometimes. It's okay. And again, when I say how dare you, I'm joking. Right? I'm not offended by that. You know, healing starts with wanting to heal, and you are wanting to heal. As you may not feel or see as much result as you want it to be, but you are on that journey, and that is all that matters. Life is a journey, healing is a journey, and so just keep going, and things will get better. In whichever way you are ready to continue exploring your own journey. Jack, could you speak about sitting with difficult feelings and allowing them to speak and the struggle it can be, as it's such a big part of the journey? I can, but I need to have an example. So, would you like to share with me what sort of difficult feelings you are struggling with? Um, the main thing about it is that when it happens, so we can't necessarily, unless you are working with someone, it's not really something that you can evoke, um, that you can make happen. It's more when you feel something, what you want to do is to sit down and pay attention to that feeling and imagine that feeling being an energy going through your body. Visualize it like an energy and visualize it like something healthy, something normal, something harmless. It's just a signal from your body. Your body is reacting to something and it wants you to feel something for a reason. So you just want to acknowledge that and you want to feel it without thinking about it. And then the next thing that you can do is to give it a name. You can give it a color, you can give it a shape, you can give it a texture, so that you get acquainted with this. You realize, now I'm starting to recognize what it is. Name, shape, color, texture, or even a smell, a flavor, whatever. Create an identity with that so that you become acquainted with that feeling. So it's no longer scary or alien or weird. It's something that you know exists in you and is okay. And then fully embrace it. Allow it to do its stuff. Give your body as a platform for that thing to express itself. And then you will realize that at some point it will diminish and then go. Because now you're processing it, you're absorbing it, you're allowing it to happen, you are experiencing it. As opposed to, it's shameful or it's fearful, I want to avoid it. I need to think about it instead of feeling it. we often get trapped in our head because we are seeking shelter in our head from the feelings in our body that we don't want to feel. And so, unless it's panic attacks, you want to learn how to feel those things and become friends with them. And you realize it's just a sensation. I may shout, I may cry, I may shake, but just feel whatever comes. There's not a single emotion that can last longer than 90 seconds in your body if you don't think about it. And the more you do this, the more you can be acquainted with them. You can give them better names. You can recognize, understand the full spectrum of your emotions. But also at some point, you may be able to understand what it's trying to tell you. But the first step is to really learn how to allow these energies to do the things in your body and realize that you are safe. And as you do that, yeah, that's your introduction to learning how to feel your body. But again, Jack, if you want to give me a specific example, that would be useful, perhaps. Again, is there a way I can stop my mind from skipping to conclusions like that? No, because it's your program. I tend to see the worst and assume that that's what people intend. That's your program. Your program is your belief system. So whatever that you think, again, borderline personality disorder, this borderline personality disorder is your personality. So your mind is going to translate all of those things the way it's doing. So the work that we've done helps you that. But in the moment, you can't change this. You can change this before and after. Remember, before and after is how you can work on your belief and upgrade them. But in the moment, that's your program. You can do nothing about it. Um, Spiraxis. Hi, Didi. Stop. Okay. Spiraxis. Hi, Didi. I just wanted to ask your thoughts on outside factors affecting emotional processing. My example is I have cut down on caffeine 95%, and although I still have issues, I feel mentally clearer. Okay, great. So this is what you want to do. You want to realize that everything exists because of many things. Nothing exists just because of one thing. So what it means is that you want to understand the bigger picture of yourself. You want to realize that all of your lifestyle habits are going to affect certain things, but also all of your habits of emotions and habits of thoughts are also going to affect you. And also your very environment is affecting you every day. The things that you're going through day to day. And so whatever that you are trying to change in your life, you want to explore all of those avenues and more. And the more you learn about yourself, the more you understand. It's like a recipe. The more you understand the perfect mix of everything, so that you can eventually get to what you want to create for yourself. So yes, emotional processing can be all sort of things. There's one thing that I can say, very important about this. It is that the way we feel in our body is going to affect how we think. And the way we think is going to have to affect how we feel. It goes both ways. Um, and so in that example, if you drink a lot of coffee, the coffee will create a state in your body that will affect how you think and how you feel at an emotional level. Just like everything else, if you have junk food all the time, and your gut is always inflamed, it's going to affect how you feel. It's going to affect your perception of reality. It's going to affect your sense of self. Everything affects everything. If you don't sleep enough, if you don't exercise enough, if you don't socialize with people, if you don't spend time in nature, have some sun, some fresh air, all of these things and more makes a difference in regards to every other aspect of your life. Again, you are not a mind and a body and a soul. You are all of it and more. You are everything. You are one thing, but the perspective that you're looking at yourself from will dictate whether you are this or that. But it's all intertwined. It's all connected. When you look at yourself from a biological perspective, you are a body. When you look at yourself from a psychological perspective, you are a mind. If you look at yourself from a spiritual perspective, you are a soul. If you look at yourself from an atomic perspective, you are energy, and so on and so forth. And so whatever that you do within any perspective will affect the other perspective because you are still that one thing. Um, but if you want to be more specific, you talk about coffee. I'm not sure. Do you want to? I'm not sure what sort of other thoughts you'd like me to share in regards to that. But yes, if you find out that suppressing a type of food makes you think clearer, that's it. Test and trial. We're all different. But essentially, this is what I always say to people. We want to do three things to address anything. We want to address our emotional triggers. So this is what therapy does. And then we want to address our lifestyle. Again, sleep, eat, move, sort of things. And then we want to address our environment. So the people we hang out with, people at work, but also our mental environment. Jack, I used to struggle with deep sadness that would turn to anger as I felt I couldn't escape the situation I was in. Once I did, and did the exact allowing you mentioned, I heard a lot. Thank you. Fantastic. Thank you. So yes, so you are basically confirming that it works for you. Good on you. Thank you. Jack, thank you for your answers. Spot on. Fantastic. Redrin said hi. Hello. Paula Fletcher, I have to go. I have a visitor. Paula, thank you for your visit. It's a pleasure. Come back again. Remember, I'm here every Wednesdays and every Fridays from 6 p.m. UK time. And I wish you a great rest of the day, evening, weekend. Genji, I can't stop myself from having the thought because I'm programmed that way. But I can work on what I do with the thought later. You can upgrade your program before and after you get triggered. But when you get triggered, in that moment, this is your program. Spiraxis, very much agree. I was surprised how something like that had just blended in. Okay, okay. So if you can realize that that change is making so much difference, maybe you may find other things that will also potentially really change, take it all to next level. This is how we explore again all the aspects of our life. So the lifestyle ones, we can always learn how to sleep better, how to eat better, how to move better, how to socialize, how to meditate, how to connect with nature, how to do things that make us happy, how to be creative, how to enjoy music. And all of these things and more, they are super important. So there's a lot of things we can do to enhance our quality of life. Spiraxis, thank you, thank you. Genji, okay, that work is the work that I'm already working on. Yes, it is, it is. The only one thing what you want to add in is that you have to be patient. It takes time. Because it's not happening straight away doesn't mean that it's not working. Um, Again, remind yourself, you have chosen the long journey. So if you can remind yourself that it was your choice, that may make you feel a bit better about yourself. No one is forcing this on you. That's what I'm trying to say. Genshi, I know I need to work on mindfulness more, being patient and accepting. Yes, mindfulness, meditation, all those things are great um, for people who have the problems that you have. Genji, yes, I seemingly want to suffer, but it feels like I didn't earn it. Is that normal? Um, there's no such thing as normal, and so uh, I, would, I wouldn't say whether it's normal or not. That's how you feel about yourself. That's the belief that you have, and that's what you have to work with. Um, but very often, there's a part of us that is self-sabotaging our attempts to change. So that could be that. Um, Again, if I don't believe that I deserve to be fixed in life, if I don't believe that I can heal, then there's a part of me that will twist my thoughts so that I do anything for this not to happen. Jan texts, hi Didi, I hope you are well. I am a bit lost. I feel responsible for fixing the world problems, even though I know that it's not solely my responsibility. It is exhausting. Any direction would help. Okay, let's talk about this. There's something called the savior complex or the messiah complex. And I'm not saying that you have it, but understanding it can help a lot. Many of us, because of the role that we had in our childhood, all the things that happened to us, we feel that we have to help others. We have to help everyone. We have to save them. We have to rescue them. And it's an obsession. It's a compelling need. And the reason we do this is rooted in low self-worth. It's rooted in, so for some people, it's a need for control, a need to feel superior, or a need to be purposeful. Because we believe that this is who I am. This is what I do. This is what makes me worthy. If I behave like that, if I do those things, uh, that makes me connected. People can see me, can appreciate me. And so what you want to do is to address this first and foremost. Realize that you don't have to fix people. It's not your job. It's not your responsibility. No one has to. It's not for you to fix people's mood. You're not in charge of how they feel. It's good to be kind. It's a great thing to do, but only if you have enough kindness so that it's not a problem for you. Right? Being kind is great, but if you force yourself to be kind, if you force yourself to be nice because you really want to be a good person, now it's going to come at the expense of your well-being because you haven't got that energy for you. Um, and so, do you see yourself as a people pleaser? Have you always looked after people from a very young age? Is it a part of your sense of self? You are not responsible for fixing the world problems, and even if you wanted to fix the world problem, the best way to do this is to fix your problems first, because we can only give what we own. And so, remind yourself, self first is not selfish. Um, so yes, learn how to love yourself, learn how to practice self-care, self-compassion, self-forgiveness, self first. Um, and then, once you feel better, once you're in a happier place, then you can really change the world if you still want this to happen. But what I was trying to say at the start of that conversation is that very often we feel that it's something that I have to do. But if you can realize that it's a trauma response and that the real motives behind this is not altruism, it is a need to feel purposeful, then that changes the whole thing, the whole experience. Red Rain, Jan, I deal with the same thing. Okay. Genji, I feel like I may sound a bit insane, but I would rather get help and suffer through it versus just getting more help so I suffer less. Okay. So it's your priority and it's okay. Again, we're all different. And so yeah. We can't force people to heal. People heal or do certain things when they're ready. And so accept that this is your journey and it's okay. I do believe that we will all get better in some capacity all throughout our life because our life is about this precisely. We're going through the journey of ourselves. So accept, practice acceptance. This is what you have chosen. Okay, it's getting quieter now. Genji, am I like the saying, you can bring a horse to water, but can't make them drink? I don't know. Yes, maybe. Okay, yes, absolutely. But then nothing about your personality is fixed. Nothing about your belief are fixed either. So this may change over time. Just embrace each day and do your best to focus on your progress and explore some new perspective about yourself. Genji, aha, I'm being difficult again. Thank you for your advice. You're not difficult. You're not difficult. How did you come to that conclusion? What makes you say this? Uh, I'm not saying that you're difficult. I'm saying that this is your choice. And I accept it. And it's a choice, just like any other choice. But the problem is not whether I accept it or not, it's whether you accept it or not. Stop resisting your own self. Stop resisting your own choices. Jan, yes, it is rooted in familiar trauma for me, a bit about control in a chaotic environment now as well. I will go run through this through my CPT tools. Thank you. Okay. Very often we also want to help others and fix them because we are projecting. We have a lot of baggage, but we are not ready to address our own shadow parts. So it's easier to deal with others than to deal with ourselves. And so, yeah, prioritize yourself. Um, Focus on what you can do for yourself, as opposed to trying to help others change the world. Um, I'll be my advice. Realize that all the energy and the attention that you give others is the energy and the attention that you're not giving yourself. You mentioned that you have a CPTSD, right? And yeah, family trauma. Avi, oops, Avi Navikar. Hi, you good? Yes, I'm good. How about you? I mean to hang around, but if I don't get any questions within a minute, I will go. Genji, I truly believe I am just difficult. When I was a people pleaser, I didn't feel that way, but now I think when I say no, that's me being difficult. Your case, no judgment about it. How do you not judge? I used to judge. I used to judge an awful lot. I used to judge everyone all the time. I used to judge myself because I was judged. And then I started to change and learn how to love myself. And I learned how to no longer judge myself to the point where I could no longer judge others either. It starts with self. If we judge others, it's because we are judging ourselves first. And if we judge ourselves, it's because we have been judged by our parents, by our caregivers, by society, by the whole of them. And so if you say, I truly believe that I'm just difficult, it's because someone told you that you were difficult. That voice is stuck in your head. It's not you. It's not your voice. It is inherited from your past. It's a program from the past. So when you hear that voice, you can challenge it. You can say, I'm not difficult. Shut the F up. I'm doing my best. I'm sensitive. I'm empathic. I'm a kind person. I am not difficult. Um, but just back to what I was saying, when you learn how to no longer judge yourself, you realize that you lose the need to judge others. Again, because we're always projecting. Um, So if I'm angry at myself, if I have some shame inside of me, but I see it in others, that's why I'm judging them, because they are a mirror of my repressed emotions, of my repressed shame and fears. And it's easier for me to judge them rather than facing my own darkness. I was having a conversation with another one of my clients sometime. I can't remember when. And I was saying how I used to judge everyone. Like I would say, I would be incredibly judgmental about people who are stupid, people who are lazy, and also the looks. Because my mom was obsessed with the look. Again, narcissist. So I would always think, look at him, look at her. They're so fat, they're so ugly. Look at the clothes they have. It's ridiculous. I would be a little bitch, and I would be nonstop, always thinking about that. And I was only projecting my own insecurities. And and then I started to discover the beauty in me. I practiced self-love, self-acceptance, and eventually I've learned how to love myself. I've learned how to find myself beautiful. I've learned how to find myself enough. And from that point onwards, I was able to see the beauty in others. And I genuinely, when I go to the park, I see everyone, young people, old people, men, women, non-binary, whatever social class, whatever fashion, whatever body language. I can see beauty in everyone, every single person. I can see a type of beauty. I can really appreciate it. And it has no longer anything to do with the beauty standards from fashion, from society. And so when you work on yourself, eventually the whole world will change, because when you are rid of your own wounds, you don't project them on others anymore. Jan at Red Rain, hugs offered. Okay, thank you, Jan. Genji, do you think judgment on others is always judgment on yourself? Yes. Red Rain, you are absolutely right. I have PTSD, and the voice in my head is all the horrible things my family said. Okay. Yeah. Again, we can talk about this. I have PTSD as well, um, amongst other things. Jack, much love, Genji. You can drop the belief that you are difficult. You are not. You're a human being like the rest of us, and you deserve love and care, and should do whatever it takes to get yourself healing. I agree with Jack. Thank you, Jack. Genji, do you still see bad in the world the way you used to? No. So this is the thing. I understand that only hurt people. Because I used to be one of them. I didn't like it. I hated it. But I couldn't help. But then I changed because I was lucky, not because I was better. And so when I see people doing horrible things, including horror, like psychos, criminals, the war, all those things happening, the genocide, I can still understand where they're coming from. I don't approve of it, but I can understand. I can I can manage those two realities at the same time. Within the context of humanity, we need to change this. But within the context of psychology, as a human being, I get it. And so if anyone needed help, I would be able, I would love to still help them, despite me disproving of everything that we do. If they genuinely seek some help, I believe that I could do that. I would like to do this. And so now I do react to things because I'm a human and I have empathy. But even though a lot of things makes me angry or sad, there's always a moment where I'm understanding, I'm imagining the whole process. Like I was telling you, when I'm in the park, I look at people and I imagine, I don't see just a face or a body. I imagine the story of their life. I mean, I imagine them when they're a baby, when they're kids, when they're teenagers, young adults, and where they are now. And I imagine the rest of their life. And so that gives me something else. It's not just one picture, one label, one judgment, one reaction. one sentence. It's more like we are all on a journey, and we can understand that whatever people do, whatever they say, whatever they behave like, it's always the result of their journey. And so we don't need to blame. Uh, we do want to fix certain things in society, in the world, because we're humans, but we don't need to judge. I don't see people like bad anymore. I understand that they have actions that create hurt, and as long as they are still doing the same, as long as they're not able to change, they will still hurt others. But I believe that everyone can change. Not everyone will, but everyone can in some capacity, given the chance. Red Rain, it doesn't help. I've lived a quiet, isolated life, which has been mostly out of my control. What doesn't help, Red Rain? The fact that the voice is in your head. It doesn't help that you have lived a quite isolated life. I think I understand. So now, can you take some actions to try to reconnect with some people in some capacity? Maybe it's a project that you can get started on. It's important to have some people in our lives. We don't need a lot of them. We don't need anyone either. We want to be precise in our choice, but there are some people out there with whom you can connect with and be yourself, and you want to find them. Genji, is your desire to help others because of empathy, from knowing what it feels like to be on the other side? It's more like a byproduct. The reason why I'm helping others is not because I can feel that they are suffering. The reason I help others is because this is who I am. This is what I do. And so I just do this. But of course, when I see people who are suffering in front of me, it makes me want to help them even more. But the first real reason is just because this is who I am. This is what I do. That's me. That's my thing. I'm obsessed with that. I think about it all the time. I write things, I create content, I talk to people every day, all the time about it. I'm obsessed. Hyperfixation is my thing. And so I know that I'm good at it because of that obsession. And the fact that I've been doing it professionally for like 9 years now. Um, but the empathetic aspect of it comes after. And it's true that there are some people that I talk to in Discovery course and I really want to help them. And sometimes they just can't afford me. And so there's nothing I can do other than inviting them to come on those lives if we wish so. Um, but uh, but yeah, but my first motivation is not because I want to help others. It is because I have understood and embraced the fact that this is who I am. Jack, gotta go. Great live. Thank you, Didi. Thank you so much, Jack. If you haven't subscribed yet, please make sure to subscribe. Your support is appreciated. And remember, I'm here every Wednesdays and every Fridays from 6 p.m. UK time. And if you want to replay that live stream, it will be available from tomorrow on my channel. Um, and thank you for your interaction today, Jack. Dawn, you have to go through something to know how it feels. Yes, it's true. We are mainly and first and foremost creatures of emotions and feelings. And so by going through something, we can feel it. And that gives us a whole dimension about that experience. And this is why, when it comes to mental health and therapy, people who have been through the same situation as you and found the way out are the best people. Because there are no books that can teach you how it feels. Um, Whenever I address any of my clients, if it's new cases that I'm not familiar with, I go in meditation to try to remember how it feels. And then I get there, and then everything makes sense, and I know what to do next with them. Illuminate your power, said hi. Hello. Red Rain, yes, I hope I find them. I sometimes feel like people can see the pain inside, but do they need to in order for me to be seen? Um, what you need to do is to be with someone with whom you are on the same wavelength, so that it's easy for you to connect with them. And whether they feel your pain or not will depend on all sorts of things. It's not what matters. What matters is that you feel safe with them. Uh, you feel safe to be yourself. You feel safe to speak out your truth. You feel safe to just be without having to change anything about yourself in order to be accepted. Um, that's what you need. If you can have more emotional intelligence, it's always a good thing. Um, is that what you meant, Red Rin? Dawn, the tongue has no bones, but it can break a heart. I remember someone, maybe you or someone else mentioning that quote. Yes, words are very, very um, impactful, if that is what you mean. Genji, I think that's probably the best answer a human could give. You just are that kind of person, no alternative motive, which some have. Thank you. A lot of people, this is the thing, there's also a part of me that doesn't want to be one of those people who are trying so hard to come across as good people. I don't care about this. I don't want to come across like a good person. I want my actions to speak for themselves, right? I want my energy to speak for itself. Uh, I want my deeds just to be felt and understood. But but a lot of people are, I don't know what calls them, the goody do gooders. So basically, there are people who are who claim that they are good people, um, and it's a problem because if you claim that you're a good people, you are ignoring all of your shadow parts, and also you believe that other people are not as good, and so that creates the problem with religion and shame and sins and all of those things, blame, judgment. Um, we must be humble and accept all the parts within us, including the dark parts, but realize that we're working on ourselves and things are always going to get better and that we're all the same anyway. Uh, and so, yes, I do feel for people, and that gives me more motivation, incentive to want to work with certain people than others. But I don't do things because I'm of service to others. To me, this reeks of self righteousness. Do things for others, in service of others. F off. No, no one has to do anything in service of others. Why? Do things because this is your life and you're here to self realize and to make the most of your human experience. And one of the very important aspects of the human experience is to connect with others. But this comes after. You don't do this because you want to be of service to others. No, it's a byproduct, it's a result, it's a consequence of you having self realized. Thank you for your heart. Genji, that is exactly why I trust you but struggle to trust others. Okay? Well, you don't have to trust everyone. If you trust me, it's a good start. But then what we really want to do is to learn how to trust yourself. You don't need to trust others, you need to trust yourself. The moment you can learn how to trust yourself, or if it's hard, maybe you can trust the universe instead. Sometimes it's easier to surrender to something that is bigger than us. But it's the same. Whether you trust the universe or you trust yourself, this is what you want to do. Because when you do this, then you accept that there are all sorts of people in the world, some people with good intention, some people with bad intention, but it doesn't matter. You don't need to trust them. You trust yourself. You can see them, or if you didn't see it, but they're starting to show some hostility, some malice, then you can deal with that. You can handle with that. You can handle them. You can tell them, you know what? Goodbye. Just like that. It's easy. It was always about trusting yourself, as in trusting ourselves, right? Not just you, not you specifically, but Yeah, the two things that are creating all the problems in our life are fear and shame. And so, if we can address those things from the inside out, then life is a ball. It's a walk in the park. It's a party. Dawn, actions speak louder than words. Okay. Genji, that reminds me of people who will film them saving a puppy in a river, but they threw a puppy in a river. Oh, please don't put that image in my mind. I don't want to see that. Oh, I love any animals. Support staff said hi. Hello. Genji, I don't trust people who push the narrative that they're a good person. Yes, I agree. Yeah, yeah. I can understand why I'm not always a good person, but I want to be a kinder person. Yes. You don't want to be a good person. You want to do your best to be better. That's the difference. If you say, I'm a good person, you have arrived, you have lost all humanity, you're not trying to be better anymore. You believe that in order for me to be a good person, I must do certain things and belong to the gang of good people. You need to judge everyone else. Um, but if you think, I want to be a better person, and it's a journey of a lifetime, now we're onto something. Support staff, very good ad. Thank you. Genji, I'm so sorry. It's truly sad. It's okay. I don't think about it. So this is how you do it. I don't want to visualize it, so I'm thinking about something else. Right now, I'm thinking about the light. I'm thinking about my cup of tea, and it's gone. Just like that. If we hold on to a thought that is uncomfortable or distressful, we're hurting ourselves. But you can choose a different food. Remember, fruit salad, right? Genji, a better person. Yes, I will write that in my notes. Okay. Yes, 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 yes. Um, if you think about good people, they are the source of all problems in the world. When the Christians, Spanish Inquisition, colonialism, they saw themselves as better people, as good people, the promised land, the chosen ones. But they created a lot of suffering and destructions, and it's still ongoing today in many places in the world. But in their mind, they are good. Adolf H., the mustache guy in Germany, he thought he was a good person. He really thought so. We're going to make everyone the perfect race, Aryan race, blonde with blue eyes. This is the best. He was a savior as far as he was concerned, and everyone else in his troops. And so that's why believing that we are a good person is so dangerous. Um, there's a say in French, I don't know if it exists in English, and it's the roads to hell are paved with good intentions. So that'll be similar as in hell is full of people who see themselves as good people. You know, typically, people who are hardcore Christians, they see themselves as that's good people, and they're trying to brainwash everyone else. And it's not such a great idea. Genji, I'm just going to throw that somewhere so that I see a random bowl of fruit and have to remember that. Yes, fruit salad. Or something else. You know, I just did it in front of you. I didn't want to think about whatever you're talking about, so I chose to visualize something else. My hand, my glasses, the ceiling. Ah, there's the ceiling. It's the more you practice mindfulness, the easier it is for you to focus your mind on a specific thought, so that whatever was bothering you before just vanishes. Thank you for the little emojis. Um, Genji, well, that's honestly pretty true. Bad people want to be seen as good. Yeah. If you are really kind and you care about people, you don't need to think that you're a good person. You just do the good thing. It comes out naturally. But also, you understand that some people will dislike you no matter what. This is the thing. People want to be good people. They're obsessed with being liked by everyone. And it's a terrible belief to have. We don't want to be liked by everyone. We just want to be our best, to be ourselves, and the right people will follow through, and the wrong ones will separate, and it's okay. Um, because we're all exploring our own journey. So we can't. It's impossible. And it's not even healthy to please everyone and to be liked by everyone. Red Rain, doesn't Aristotle talk about that? But all aim for the highest good, and even evil people think they're doing some kind of good. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I wasn't sure about Aristotle, that specific quote, but yes, um, everyone believe that they're the good guys, except if you hate yourself, right? But even though there's a cognitive dissonance here, I think a lot of us, we do hate ourselves, but it's precisely because we hate ourselves that we're obsessed with trying to be the good guys. Talking about, if you think about politics, left and right, whichever you belong to, um, even the most extreme people, they generally believe that they're the good guys and that everyone is wrong. If you're in the UK, Reform, or if you're in America, Donald Trump, uh, people who follow those systems, they really believe that they're the good guys, that they're doing well. Jan texts, would you be willing to share some examples of stuck points that might lead to severe conflicts? Sure. Uh, I just realized that it's 8 o'clock now, so I'm going to end this live stream for today. Right. However, I am back today. Well, it's Friday. I am back every Wednesdays and every Fridays, every single week from 6 p.m. UK time. So if you can subscribe if you haven't yet, and then come back next week. I'd love to explore this conversation with you. Right? It's just that it's a big topic. If you have a short question with a yes or no, I can answer it. But it's 2 minutes past 8, and I normally finish my live streams at 8 o'clock. So if you can come, that'd be amazing, please. And then just remind me of our conversation. Then come early if you can, so we have more time to explore that topic together. Jan, okay? Red rain heart emoji. Genji, thank you, Didi. Maybe I will do some art to help change my thoughts. Yes, if you can do art, do it. Creativity is fantastic. Whatever that you do, it doesn't have to look like Michelangelo. But whatever that you enjoy, it's about creativity. That really stimulates so much part of your brain and your body. So yes, creativity, art, do it. Um, Maybe if I will do some art to help change my thoughts, I will work on my acceptance and last, thank you for your time, Didi. Of course, thank you for the pink hands emojis. Guys, I love you all. Thank you so much for watching up till now. Again, if you want to replay this live stream, it should be available sometime tomorrow to be replayed. I'm on TikTok and I'm on YouTube. I put 3 short post videos every day, and I've put my long format video on YouTube on hold for now because I'm very busy with tons of things. But I do also have some long form videos on my channel, so have a look at them if you wish. You may find some things useful, perhaps. And also, if you need any details about me as a therapist and coach, there should be a link on my bio to my website. Other than that, I'm going to read the last comments. Genshi, patience in the meantime. I wish you a good evening, my friend. Yes, patience, mindfulness. Be kind to yourself. Spiraxis, I will be back. I have so many questions. Oh, fantastic. And you've been part of my healing so far. Bless you and thank you. Thank you so much. Spiraxis, heart. Jan, totally understandable. Thank you for your time and energy today. Thank you so much. Guys, love you all. I wish you a great day or great night wherever you are. DPU music. Thank you. Thank you. And remember to be kind to others if you can. But if you can't, at least be kind to yourself. Genji, this is for you as well, right? Remember this. Guys,